Sorry, that got cut. I'm just continuing. So I was saying, I think I'll just wait for these people, a couple of people who just went offline. So welcome back. So I was saying there are a lot of teachings of Gurudev which are very profound and very, very deep. But we catch only which suits our needs and our creeds. There is so much on detachment, so much on detachment that he has always talked about. There is so much about ascension and so much about liberation. There is so much about self realization. There is so much about mukti, getting yourself liberated from the bondages of life and death. Why don't we use their teachings? Are you getting my point? It is because what our prime desires are, our guru's teachings also will revolve. It is only as per the need, on an as needed basis we take the teachings. Bhagavad Gita, everything is there. Bible, everything is there. Quran, everything is there. But do we use all the teachings? We do not. We will use only what is useful to us, and we will talk and even teach or preach only that which makes sense to us. We will not go beyond a certain limit. This is what is the obstacle of spirituality, which is one of the biggest illusion, a part of Maya, where the feeling is that everything is going fine, and this is it. This is the ultimatum. It's not the ultimatum. It's not even a fraction of the spiritual journey. You want to look into the other end of the horizon, the other end of what's happening in spirituality. Study the mystics. धज्जियां उड़ा देंगे वो. Literally, they will blow up all your concepts and all your conception about spirituality. Everything will be blown up. So you'll come to know there is something more, because these mystics are. We all want to reach. We love the yogis for one particular reason. There are many people in the West also. The whole world is running mad behind yogis and great ones. You talk in the West about Himalayas, they'll go crazy. They'll go nuts over it. There's a big craze. Why the Himalayas? Because they know there are some mystics living there, yogis living there, and they get lured by them. Now, why are they getting lured? If you go deeper, there are many people who leave their countries and come to Himalayas, come to visit. Because I've been in these places, I've interacted with so many people, I've seen why they come, how they come. Many come in search, in pursuit of their happiness. And why they are lured to even great masters, I'll tell you the fact. Because of siddhis. Because these yogis are known for their mystical powers. They have siddhis. They have certain powers that attracts people, and they want to know what is it in them. They either come to take the help of these yogis for their own life. They want them to look into their own life. They want to get healed. They want to look into their own aspects of life. They want to see what is in their future and blah 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 blah, all those things, or create something for themselves. They come to take help of the yogis, or they come to learn from the yogis. Learn what? Learn siddhis. Unfortunate. Maximum percentage. So there are flying yogis, there are yogis who levitate, there are yogis who can change their body temperature at will, there are yogis who can turn off their hungers, there are yogis who can manifest anything out of thin air, just out of thin air, and present it. It's all science, but people are more interested in that. People want to find out, how can I do that? Because we all know these great mystics are no one but human beings. They have evolved after a certain stage. So they have reached that stage, passing through a certain stage. That means, what does it tell? It indirectly or directly tells that we also have the capacity to become like that. And when I know that I have the capacity to become like that, what comes into my mind? There is a greed. No, there is an intention there. Now I want those things for a certain purpose. These are all limited. These are not unlimited stuff. Are you getting it? This is not spirituality actually about. This is just the start of spirituality. It's a kickstart. There is something more that we need to go in. But the full stop happens there because the people are satisfied with them. The pursuit ends there. So they are either happy or disappointed on what they get in their pursuit after meeting the mystics. It either continues, aggravates further, fuels more, or it ends. If they are disappointed, it ends and their journey ends. That's it. But there are a few who go beyond that, beyond the siddhis. This is what our master also said so many times. Never run behind siddhis. If you go look beyond the siddhis, if you look beyond the powers, beyond all these temporary glitters, and if you go look beyond is what? Not these states of the yogis, but a state which is liberated. The avduts, the naked ones. Naked means it's an indication they don't have any attachment to anything, no possessions, no attachments, pure. They're not motivated by anything. Only such person can be nude. So when your focus goes into that, how many of us actually strive to look into the lives of these people and then say, how can I become like that? Who would want to become like that? Nobody. You're getting it. But it's not the physical outcomes that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the state of inner being. How many of us have the intense desire to achieve that kind of an inner state of consciousness that they are in? That is a higher goal. This is when Gurudev says, the master says, do not run behind siddhis. Go behind the ultimate. So ultimate are these people. If you switch your vision to that, siddhis will automatically follow. Now see the fun. These people whom I'm talking about, the mystics, you think they don't have siddhis? Baap ke baap hai. They are the father of all fathers. They are the father of mystics. They have reached that kind of a level. What does that show? It shows that when even at that stage they are having all those powers. But nobody is lured by that, because what will I do with the powers when I don't have clothes on my body? What will I do with the powers when I don't have a fantastic home around me? What will I do with the powers when I don't have wealth and all these things with me? How is it going to help me? You see why the ichha, the intent doesn't happen, because at that stage, what will I do with all that? But those are the people who says you reach that stage, you have got everything, you don't need anything else, they are beyond, they are liberated. So that is the ultimatum. That is the ultimatum which we are all proceeding, we are going towards actually. You see that? So the intention is on that. If your intention is much more on that, it is very simple. Whatever is in the journey will all come to you. Even the states of yogis, even the states of siddhis, and all these things is a part. That is why the master says, never go behind the siddhis. Let the siddhis come behind you as you go. It means that it will follow you. The powers will follow you because it's a part and parcel of that state of elevated consciousness. So when you are in that kind of a state, these powers automatically, whether you like it or not, it becomes a part of you. But the perception is different now. You're not looking at this because you never looked at it. You never gave it any weightage. So it doesn't matter it is there or not. How will it make a difference? That is the meaning, that it will follow you. मतलब you don't give it any weightage. You are just walking your path, and that, as a part and parcel, comes behind you. You don't even turn and look back. You are aware it's coming behind you, it's there. You're not bothered. So those are the ultimate states of the mistakes, which are not many, a large percentage. I'm not saying which is right and wrong. No judgment here. Please do not take me wrong. Because it's everybody's journey and it's all a precious journey. Whoever, wherever everybody is where they are supposed to be. So there is no judgments. I'm not saying that is wrong. You have to leave that and then think about only this. No, I never said that. I'm saying what is the ultimate truth. Where are we finally going? And I'm talking about the final things than the middle things that we get caught up in. Are you getting it? That's what I was trying to convey. So it's okay wherever we are, in whichever part of the journey we are. It's all fine. Doesn't matter. As long as we are living fully and striving. But I put this word because let this be in awareness. Because sometimes we feel this is it. Okay, nahi, it's not it. So let it be in our awareness, wherever, whichever journey, whichever part, whichever milestone we are in. Let this thing be in our awareness. No, this is not the ultimatum. There is more to this. So it's okay. I'm enjoying my life like this. I'm creating, I'm enjoying whatever going through, because you cannot dodge this. You were born for this, to go through all these things. Getting it? So it's okay, and you're enjoying it. You're doing it everything to your ultimatum. But having an awareness, it's not sufficient enough. There is more to do, and this is not the end of it. So even if you are achieving things here in this middle part, you have something in your awareness. There is something beyond it also. So that will keep you motivated towards the highest goals again. Today or tomorrow it will come. It cannot be bought by force. But even if you have this awareness, what will happen is this awareness will keep floating. There is something more, something more, something more. And you have all this pending karmic stuff right now to handle. So right now you'll handle it aram se. But in the awareness, it is there. Some other work is there. What happens when you have some kind of desire? For example, you have some mega plans to do, like you want to go for a big picnic for a 1 week off with you, family, friends, whatever. You want to do it, but you have a lot of things in hand to do, this work, that work, a lot of things. So you want, the desire is there, but you say, let it wait, let me settle down these things, then I'll be comfortable doing it. It's just like that feeling. So you will be doing all these things with interest, all finishing all your life tasks, your karmic tasks, with interest. But in the back of the mind, you will know you have a holiday to go to. So the faster you finish this, you can jump into that higher plan. So there will be a kind of emergency or urgency to let me finish as fast as possible so that I can get ahead to enjoy that. So that is what I'm trying to say. So that, let that thing float, that this is not enough, there is more to do. And meanwhile, enjoy everything that we do here, because this, we have to finish off these karmic debts or karmic imprints, whatever it's making us do. So this is one thing I wanted to just share with about the mystics. The mystics are these, and there is lot. There are books and books written about them. Hold on a second. It's getting a little dark here, so yeah, this is better. So there are books, so many books written about the people and their sayings. I was the other day with Swami Vijayananda. I had gone to meet him in this ashram, some 3-4 days back, and he's one person who talks elaborately about the mystics. And in fact, he talks only about Advaita, and he talks about the Agyata Tattva, the non-dual aspects of everything, the highest truths that all these Avdutas and mystics used to speak. And I was mesmerized the whole day in all those things. But unfortunately, or fortunately, whatever, most of the text is in Kannada, and he's very good in Kannada. So I was very interested in translating those things and getting out the teachings of such great masters. Karnataka has countless number of mystics here, but they are not known very much because they have their limitation. There are a lot of limitations, so that's how it was not known. So through this website and through this page, I wish to bring forth all those teachings again and again into our consciousness, that can remind us all the time about this ultimate truth. So I'm working on that also simultaneously. This has been always my forte, to work more about these mistakes, and this platform gives me a lot of, I'm very excited to always write. So that is why you can see it was just created not even a week back, and it's full of posts and full of people. Those posts also get shared like anything. It's because it appeals to people, the ultimate truth. And this is beyond religion. It is not about one Avdut of a Hindu religion, of a Muslim Islam or Christianity. They have nothing. They are beyond everything. रिलीजन छोड़ो, उनको शरीर का बोध नहीं है. रिलीजन बोध छोड़ो, स्पीशीज बोध छोड़ो. They don't have body consciousness. This body belongs to me, that feeling is not there for them. Forget this religion belongs to me, this country belongs to me, this community belongs. Forget those things. This body belongs to me is also is not there in them. They are in that state. And so when they speak, very profound truths, very profound truths of what. So I'm trying to make all this. If you have not seen that page, I think I've shared it on my profile, a couple of posts. The Facebook page name is The Mystical Mystics. So if you like, and if you are interested in such kind of the real tattva, the pure and real, raw, uncensored talks and words, revealing a lot of truths. I'm telling you, if we catch these truths, we can divert lot of sufferings. Lot of our suffering comes from ignorance. We still do not know how life functions. Still do not know. There's little rain, that's why I pulled back. So if we, it's a beautiful weather. You would like to see this? I'll show you from this camera. I'm actually at my friend's place, so I don't know if you can see from here. It's raining and it's fully green and trees, and so I often come here, my friend's place. The internet was not there. It's just a walkable distance from there. That's how I came here. And I thought, let me do it here. I came for some website work, but sir, let me share this thing. So if you guys are interested in such kind of talks, in such kind of profound truths, and these people, the mystics, lure you and attract you, their teachings, their words, their wisdom, then do join the page and you'll get a lot of updates from there. All the mystics, even the great rishis, were all mystics. That's where all the granthas came from. All the granthas, all the scriptures came from the mystics. That is how even the mystics of today, when they speak, you can write granthas. पोथियां लिख सकते हैं उसमें. Same old truths in a different fashion, in different versions, different ways it is presented. It's astounding. It's simply astounding. Nisha Patel ji, yeah, Thank you for sharing about the last composition book in your blog. I didn't mention it was last composition. Did I mention? I must tell you, if you can get hold of that book, the last composition, read it. Last composition is a book that changed my whole perception about and brought this sense of awareness, and this experience was given to me by Malaleshwari on the awareness. Awareness is everything. All the great mystics, even Nisargadatta Maharaj and all, you see, they talk about awareness. Awareness is life, awareness is the soul, awareness is the self, the higher self, the supreme awareness is God, Sajapta. Because when you enter into that awareness, you are automatically connected to that awareness, to that oneness. That is why we talk so much of oneness. People say, oh, okay, it's needed, and or they can't relate with what this oneness, because they're still in the struggle of yours, mine, me, your, the boundaries, our country, their country, our religion, their religion, our community. You start spending your time in awareness, all this will just vanish. This cannot be brought by practice or by logic. Oh, no, I should not have boundaries. Let me treat everybody as brothers and sisters. It will not happen. It has to come through your awareness. How will it come through your awareness? The more you are in awareness, the more this profound truth will start showing up. So when I used to be in this mode of awareness, I cannot sense anything. Sense is the right word. Sense or perceive or experience anything that is different. You yourself do it and see. Go into awareness, and in that moment of awareness, show me where there is a separation. At that moment, try to think of religion, it will not happen. It cannot happen, because that is the truth. That is the ultimate truth. That is why I speak of oneness. That is why all the mystics talk about oneness. Tell me one mystic. Tell me one Sufi. Tell me one Fakir, one Jogi, one Avadhut, one Siddha who doesn't talk about oneness. What does that mean? What does that show? It shows that is the ultimate truth. Everything is one. Because it's all about merging, it's all about seeing one's reflection in all. And all the problems is solved once you come into that kind of a state, that kind of a feeling. Many people say, no, you don't want to get into all that and all. You don't know. No. They do not know there is a lot of suffering in diversions. The more separatedness, the more you suffer. Why should we choose suffering? For others and for ourselves also. With separation, there is always suffering. I mean, you see somebody in a different religion, I don't say that there are atrocities not happening. There are atrocities happening throughout all religions, there are so many things that happen. I never said neglected. What I'm trying to say is, all that is all fine, but that all is temporary. It is all temporary. You think all the intercommunal killings have not happened before? The whole history of humanity shows sab isme lad mar gaye. People have killed each other. There were times, eras when the whole of the species itself were destroyed. The whole of civilizations vanished in this pursuit of killing each other. Damaging is a who won. There is no winning. Nobody won till date. But everybody goes with the feeling that I will win one day, and which will never happen. It's an illusion. See, look back at history and see who has won. Where are all the Alexanders, Hitlers, and all the people who wanted to all rule and have my way or no way? The thing is that my way or no way. There's so many people who came with that attitude and they went. It brings only suffering, physical and mental also. So even if you fall into that kind of a thinking, you automatically fall into suffering, because all the time there is chidchirapan, all the time there is irritation, all the time there is a threat, all the time there is a kind of defense, attack, all the time. and you think about it and see there is nothing similar happening in your life. You're seeing something on the social media, your blood boils here. And when your blood boils, tell me, is that person who wrote the article going to take the consequences of that? No, you are going to take that. The chemicals that your body releases, the illnesses that it brings, all the pros and cons that that kind of a reaction in you is bringing, you and your family will suffer. Nobody else is going to suffer. So it's such a big illusion to feel that no, this is the way it should be, and yet I will get triggered, I will get fearful, I will get angered, I will have resentment, I will have hate, I'll have frustration, irritation. I choose these things. By not choosing to be in the highest truth. Highest truth what? The mystics are saying everything is one. So when your pursuit is behind these mystics who are in that state of experience, and their teachings are that, when they are trying to share the truth, when you receive more and more of that, you are receiving their grace. That kind of a stature, that kind of a mentality, that kind of a perception starts becoming yours too. And when that becomes yours, what is the big deal? Then it is a state like, what if everything is one, and what if it is not also? It is never going to be bothered. It's never going to bother you. Till you are alive, the world is alive. Think about it. This is what Nisargadatta Maharaj said. This is what Ramana Maharishi said. Till you are alive, the world is alive. You are gone, everything is gone. All that the things that we are thinking about, this communalism, my thing, superiority, my caste, my religion, my status, my community, my creed, my color, my name, my tradition, my lineage, so many things, the my, me, mine, myself. You die, what happens? You're gone. Everything is gone. All your concepts are gone. All the enemies are gone. Everything poof, vanished. You have just evaporated. So that is why the great mystic says, till you are alive, the whole play of consciousness also is alive. ये सब नौटंकी is still you are alive. Now you will say no. Even if you pass away, all these things are going to exist. You have just left your physical body. No, it might be there in physicality here, but it is not there in your experience. You are no more able to experience it the way you were experiencing before. Your indriyas are gone, five indriyas. You can't see it the same way, sense it the same way, feel it the same way. Your priorities become different when you leave your body. You're in the physical, there's so much of attachment, so much of delusion, maya. You're stuck in this. The moment you leave your body, your priorities is not this, my religion, my culture. No, it is something else. Then it is astral world business. Then what happened to all these things? So you see the illusion. This is the kind of illusion that happens. It's a big illusion. And this is why the mystics have always pointed out all these truths in actuality. But we don't want that. So it's our choice. Anyways, it's all upon how we want to deal with it and how we like to go ahead with this. Like I'm saying, even if I talk, when I'm talking about this, if I talk on something like how to create, how to manifest wealth, how to attract a partner, if I post a live feed here, there will be a lot of people, a lot of comments, a lot of activity. All these things will be there. But if I'm talking about profound truths, that's the proof of how illusion world. Now I'm the same person who's talking about that also. I'm the same person who's talking about this also. But you make a choice ki no, what I like, this much I'll take. This is spirituality for me. That is why I say modern spirituality, limited spirituality. Well, anyways, that's a choice that we make. I can share only this much. But however, I've been very enthusiastic to go behind those truths and not just go behind them, it's my pursuit also, but also to keep sharing it. because I love to share these things, which probably is not seen the way it should be seen, because these are so what do you call raw. It will not be very easily accepted. So if it is presented in a proper way, proper understanding, little by little, probably it will seep in more. That's what my idea is. So for that reason, I'll be little working on that. And there are some questions that came up uh, regularly. This is going on in my life, that is going on in my life, this struggle, that struggle. People are feeling too much pressure cooker type. A lot of things happening at home, especially with relationships not going well. You don't know where to run. They have nowhere to go. They're stuck in some situations. Nothing is looking favorable. Everything is going for a toss. And so, what do you call? It's looking so meager, everything. And the world situations are like this. There are so many other issues, economical, financial, what do you call it? Health wise, so many things. And on top of that, the mental things. So people write those messages and say they have all unique अपने अपने problems होते हैं. But again, as I say, the solution is only one. So I never give them any particular one solution. It's the same thing. Become aware of all these things. In your awareness, you will come to know this is your karmic imprint. You're actually living your karmas. Karmas are getting accelerated. They are getting finished. Your pending issues are getting finished very super duper speed. That is what is happening right now. So if that is going at a super duper speed, what should you do? Go with the flow. Don't oppose it. Don't dodge it. Don't try to skip, and you cannot skip. The ascension ladder is compulsorily, you have to take every single step and go. You cannot skip. Sure shot. So if you cannot skip, why even attempt it? So much energy is going in skipping. Don't skip. Go with it. Go with it. There is no other way out. So a lot of things will come up. A lot of things are happening. Definitely it's happening. That is why I wrote this article about how to step away from the storm, to not feel the storm. Many people are in the storm, and when the storm is going on around them, they're shouting there and they're trying to act upon solutions, staying in the epicenter of that storm. No, you have to get out of that storm epicenter first. What does that mean? So instead of spending your energy on defense, retaliation, attack, and too much of logic, too much of thinking, planning, worrying, and all those things, your energy is going in that. Instead of that, what do? You move to a safe zone from that MB. If you're in a cyclone, if you're stuck in a tornado, and if you have enemies around you, suddenly, let's say you're in a city and many pending things are there with your enemies, and you have been hunting them or they have been hunting you and you never met, and suddenly when there is a tornado, same time you are meeting your enemies, will you sit and fight with them? You'll not. No human will do that. In fact, even those enemies might become one to face that situation, come together and save themselves both. Now they're dependent on that because there's a bigger tornado outside that is more bigger than this internal issue. So there are chances that the enemies will become friends or even united and fight together against that tornado. What they need to do? Safeguard themselves. Only a foolish person will fight there in the tornado. They will kill themselves. This is what is there once happening right now here in our lives also. There is a tornado outside going on, and इसलिए I put that post. गौर से देखा, स्टैटिस्टिक्स देखा तो पता चलेगा कि कोरोना से ज़्यादा हम आपस में लड़ मर रहे हैं. We are all killing ourselves here. We are all more focused on I win, you lose, and all that struggle. This is the time to let go of all that stuff. The ego has to be let go on at this time, because right now what is happening is ego का whitewash हो रहा है. Ego is one thing which will be thinned during this period of transition, and everything that will prick your ego is going to be challenged. It will come up, it will show up. So this is the time to get aware of it. Oh, this is poking my ego. Let me drop it for a moment and look beyond it through awareness. When you get into awareness, awareness means now focusing to get out of the storm rather than fighting all these things. So first you move from the epicenter through awareness. When you move far from the epicenter, you can see the tornado far away. And I also put a poster there, tornado make rainbow aaya. You can see that rainbow there. There is always a silver lining in every problem. So what is that? What does Gurudev say? In every problem, there is a gem hidden. There is a lesson hidden that has to be found. You cannot find the lesson when you are in that, when they are reacting inside that like a mixer. You cannot see the rainbow if you are in the epicenter of that tornado. To see the rainbow, you have to come out. From a distance, you can see it. A distance is what? Observation, witness, sakshi bhav, drishta bhav. Is just observing. How do you observe? Through awareness. You become subject. Then you are able to observe things. And who's playing what? Who's playing what games? What politics? What this person is doing? What that person is doing? Everything you can see, but you are not reactive. You're seeing everything, but you're not reacting. Now you're seeing the play. That is called seeing the play as it is. So you're observing everything. And when you observe, when you get into this attitude of observing and not reacting, you'll see many funny things. You'll see how useless it is to even fight with these petty things. You'll not want to waste your energy there. You'll stay back. You'll be peaceful, you'll be silent. You'll not want to fuel it more. Whatever happens, you go with the flow. There are two ways of saying whatever happens, let's go with the flow. One is, you talk to me that way, you did this to me, now jo hona hai hone do, we go head on. That's one way. That's the ego based one. The other one is I do not do anything, non-reactive. I'm observing everything, witnessing everything, and I'm just seeing calmly everything. And I'm going with the flow. Whatever happens with the results of that. Now, if somebody is doing something and some results are coming, you are watching. It's your own karmic stuff that is showing up. Am I getting it? It's your own karmic stuff that is showing up. It is the price that we are paying. Sometimes we may have to pay a price, which might be a little bitter, but that's how karma takes. It's not like we do anything that we want, and then we are not ready to pay the price. We have to pay the price. So sometimes when it is in a non-reactive state, when there is no reaction at all, in that state, the karmic repayment is lesser. You don't have to pay all that interest. However, if you're too reactive, too judgmental, and too much into that chaos, the payment is more bitter. Are you getting it? So you are helping yourself by becoming aware, subject. That is why I put that post also, to move away from that epicenter. Whatever the problem, there are many problems. Some road, it's about the children, issues with children. Some road, it is about an abusive father. Some road, it is abusive husband. Some road, it is about the husband who's having an intermarital affair somewhere. So many things, all these things are there. Now everybody will, some says a handicapped spouse or an ineligible spouse to their son or daughter. They are handling, how to handle. Some says about health issue. So many problems. Everything has one solution, to see what is the lesson behind it and how are we going to learn and grow. That's very important. Learning and growing is very important. Because if we don't catch that, what spirituality is this? What kind of spirituality is that? Where we are not wanting to learn anything. We are only wanting solutions, and solutions that too always in my favor. It's not going to happen. So we got to be a little practical. Sometimes we give, sometimes we take. And this is all a time for that. Everything is finishing up. Karmic. So we should be happy when things come up like this. It is showing up because it's coming to clear off. So we should clear it off in a nice way. Finish off all the tasks in a nice way rather than the reactive way. And making it more messy and attracting more karmas and building up more tensions to your future journey. So this is one beautiful way to do it, through awareness. These have been taught by the mystics, by Gurudev. Sajagta was taught by Gurudev so many times. Everything is about being sajag. Gurudev used to say, sajag rehna, sajag hona. Har cheez mein sajag hona. But I told you, these teachings are not very prominent because there are other teachings which will suit our needs. These are all secrets that they have shared in so many ways. And this is how they also live, in Sajagta, in awareness. I have never seen him reactive and too many things. So many times when challenges come up, he used to be silent. He used to be in hours and days together in meditation whenever obstacles or challenges come. What does that show? You calm down at that time rather than being too impulsive. Masters have done it, and why should we go the other way? So this is what I wanted to talk about, the mystics and the beautiful wisdom of mystics and their real life experiences through which we can learn and practically imbibe and grow and evolve. So I hope, I don't know how many are here. I'm just checking if there is any. I see one angry face all the time. All my life, one angry face comes. I don't know who's that. It's like, I like your page, I follow your live feeds, but I hate you for this. I don't understand this crap. Whoever it is, if this logic can be just little explained to me, and what I speak here is not anything controversial, nothing. I don't know what pokes anybody or what irritates anybody here. Is it my face or my words or my work? I'm doing too much of work. I'm spread all over so sometimes it tricks people. They don't like it. One person told me, you're all over the place. And he didn't say like, oh, wow, you're all over the place. He said, you're all over the place. Oh, I said, what's pricking you in that? What's the bad news in that? Then नहीं ये क्या है मतलब so what? Now I do not have a big business here, nor am I modeling, nor am I so handsome and good looking and I'm marketing some stuff. I do the same old clothes that I wear, same old stuff that I speak, same old face that I have, and the same old things that I'm talking about all the time, repeatedly. So why should it hurt anybody? I'm getting it. So anyways, these things don't matter, but sometimes I have this question mark, I do not understand. So I ask, what is it? What is it that bothers you? So many times when these things come, I sometimes ask, what was that for? What hurt you? Many times they say, oh, it was by mistake, I wanted to press this, and it's fun being live anyways. I love you guys, and things are going very tough. It's all pressured up even here, and I'm writing all these things, the tornadoes and things, from my own life experiences. So I know it's happening everywhere and nobody is spared. So I've been through all this, been through all this, but again, the grace of the master, the great of the masters, it will happen. So the more challenges come, the more I hold on to the mystics. So that's one good point. The more this happens, so that gives me more chances to get more deeper, because that's how day one's the life is. Because when you don't get pricks in life, you fall into the comfort zone. You will relax, you will not do anything. It's only when sometimes there's a kick on the butt that we get going. So sometimes these kicks are needed from the cosmos, and sometimes that is how the Leelas are. Sometimes the masters do it themselves. Yeah, thank you, Karina ji. So I hope this today's session was a little different. The atmosphere also is different. I could speak out loud here than that area. This area is somewhere I can speak out more easily for my friend's place. I think I'll do live feeds here. And it's nice, full of nature and things. I cannot go there. It's full green. It's raining. That's why. So with this, I think I take your leave, and thank you so much for all of you. You spent your time here, some time with me. It was a nice evening chat uh, about spirituality and the mystics. So with a lot of divine love and light in my heart, a lot of praise for all of you. Stay blessed. Gurudev Sharanam, Guru Mandala Sharanam. Bye.